R. Kelly has been jailed without bail since 2019 and could likely spend the rest of his life in prison.
And joining us now is attorney Robert Milan, or I should say Milan, of Robert Milan Law. Thank you so much for being with us.
Happy to be here.
Let's get into this. You know, obviously what happened in New York today, how will this impact those trials that are set to happen here in Illinois for sexual misconduct and child porn, and also a case in Minnesota? Do you think those trials will even move ahead?
I do. I think that, first of all, because of the New York convictions, he's looking at much more time now on the federal charges in Illinois. The sexual exploitation of a child is now minimum of 25 to 50 years in prison, and maybe, because it's multiple convictions, maybe as much as 35 to life. If you look at his delivery and receiving child pornography charges, he's now looking at a minimum of 15 years in prison and as high up as 40 years in prison. And then on the sex trafficking charges, it's 10 years to life. So Mr. Kelly is, for all practical purposes, will probably spend the rest of his life in prison. Okay,
now, for those who might think to themselves, okay, the legal team is going to appeal today's ruling in a last-ditch effort, your thoughts there? Is the appeal a likelihood here?
Well, why wouldn't they? He's 55 years old, and he just got sentenced to 30 years in prison. And under the federal law, he's going to do most of that. So he's essentially spending the rest of his life in prison. So there's no negative in filing the appeal. Well, what their odds are, only time will tell, but not a lot of federal cases get reversed.
Let's talk about the RICO Act and how it was used to charge R. Kelly. You know, I actually interviewed one of his attorneys. He said straight from the start that he thought that was being misused in this case. Is there any precedent set where other entertainers have gone to prison using the RICO Act?
I don't know if other entertainers have been convicted of that, but it fits. Basically, what it says to the average person is that he was involved in a conspiracy, a criminal conspiracy that involved multiple people in order to commit these crimes. So he used his henchmen that worked for him and other people, and he used interstate commerce to lure children over, state lines in a criminal conspiracy in order to abuse these children. And so the statute fits, and I think it will likely hold up.
All right. Well, of course, we'll all be watching to see how this plays out. Attorney Robert Milan, thank you so much for joining us on First at 4.
Sure.